I have a question for the police. If you refuse to do your job, are you prepared for us to do it for you?
I have this video, it's 2 minutes 19 seconds, of a Portland woman testifying that police lied about ICE activity in Oregon when 12 to 15 agents surrounded her vehicle. She called 911 for help on December 10th, and then says, I have questions for the police. If you refuse to do your job, are you prepared for us to do it for you? Not really sure what they mean by that, because they're talking about ICE agents. It's not the police's job to attack ICE agents or anything, so what exactly are they threatening? Well, anyway, we're just going to get into it.
On December 10th, I witnessed two suspicious vehicles make a U-turn in the middle of the road and pull into the Beaverton City Courthouse back parking lot.
Suspicious vehicles. Now, if I said suspicious vehicle to you, what would you think exactly? Like a couple white vans that say free candy with a cartoon bear on the side of it? What does suspicious vehicle mean to you?
I was concerned because I know this law operates as a safe park space for at-risk community members.
Okay, so the parking lot they pulled into acts as a safe space for at-risk community members. When they say at-risk, they don't mean trafficking victims or anything, do they? They mean illegal immigrants. Is that what they mean? Just like when they say suspicious vehicles, like, what do you mean? Say what you mean instead of suggesting things, allowing other people to come to their own conclusions about something, because then you're just leading people. And if this place is a safe space, then explain the following.
I drove into the lot ready to film these two vehicles.
Why? It's a safe space, right? What were you planning on doing? It's a safe space. Well, you saw a suspicious vehicle going into a safe space, so you thought, uh-oh, time to be the hero? They must be in there starting to make trouble in the neighborhood? Who are you? You look like you're 12.
As I parked, I saw 8 ICE vehicles and somewhere between 12 to 15 ICE agents.
Okay. In a public parking lot, though, right? You saw government agents parked in a public parking place? Okay, what are they trying to say with this exactly? They weren't allowed to be there? Is that the case?
Once I parked, they pulled closer to my vehicle, and soon I was entirely surrounded.
Okay, so now they say this as if the men surrounded her, like a bunch of men surrounding a woman in a subway or something, but from what I can understand, she parked, and they parked their cars around her cars. That's what seems to be the case. Again, there's not really any proper telling of story here, or maybe there is the proper telling of a story, more along the lines of a fairy tale, because I don't know the exacts of anything that she's saying.
I asked the community that was watching my live feed to dial 911.
There you go. She was streaming, meaning that she was out looking for trouble. And she was streaming while driving, just to be clear. So she was streaming while driving, which means that she couldn't have been reading her stream. That would have been super illegal, right? But she was streaming herself out doing some ice hunting. Isn't that the case? I mean, can you not just assume that was the case from this? Like, yeah, we've seen those people, like the IRL streamers, who they just go out driving and decide to take their phone, and technically there's nothing wrong with that if you don't read chat, but well, you know, I don't know the case here either, because again, there's no explanation of what she's doing, but I can assume that she was streaming herself ice hunting.
And to urge Beaverton police to respond. I felt outnumbered and in danger.
In danger? Why? Outnumbered, to begin with. Again, you are a woman who looks like you're 12. What do you mean outnumbered? Would you feel safer in a 1v1 against an ICE agent? And endangered? Why would you feel endangered? Oh, I felt endangered. You could say anything then, right? Like you could always say that you feel endangered to get away with something, right? People do that all the time. They all the time they make up that lie.
Several community members made that call.
Community, her viewers on her stream. God, I hate the word community. Listen, people, you are not Rick Grimes. Stop saying community all the time.
Looked around and I saw a number of Beaverton police vehicles within 100 feet of me. I also witnessed several police officers walk out from the courthouse building and take notice of what was going on.
Okay, so this woman was out ice hunting. Ice surrounded her car, but didn't do anything. She felt endangered and outnumbered. So she asked her viewers on her stream who were watching all of this happen, so presumably there's recordings of it, um, to call the Beaverton police. And then she saw that there was police all around her already because she was in the parking lot of a courthouse, it would seem. So, again, this is like walking into the Oval Office during a press conference with 50 people there and a bunch of live streams going and saying, I was in the same room with Trump. I felt endangered. Really? I mean, I wanted to like elaborate on that more and go into like a self-defense angle, but I don't want to like trigger any kind of algorithm BS with it. You could just do things and then afterwards say that, oh, I was acting in self-defense or whatever. You were out ice hunting, as far as I can tell. You don't really have any kind of leverage to claim that you were scared of what was happening.
I spoke from my car's PA system. Again,
I spoke through my car's PA system. If you didn't think she was ice hunting before, what about now? Who the hell is driving around streaming in a car that has a PA system? Just thinking about cars with PA systems makes me nostalgic for Top Gear and Grand Tour.
And asking police to respond. For 39 minutes, I sat in the lot, surrounded and alone. 3 calls were made to 911 with my exact location. No one came. A day later, I received an incident report from Beaverton officer Robert Lamb. It alleges he responded and saw nothing. This is a lie. Officer Lamb then contradicts himself and claims he saw 10 people dressed in all black cursing at an unidentified vehicle. This is also a lie. That day, the Beaverton City government team put out a statement corroborating these lies and have yet to redact their post despite ample evidence that delegitimizes Officer Lamb's statements. We were told by local legislators near
This is all very predictable. I mean, they're government agents. You're following around government agents, annoying, impeding, I'm not sure which. It's only a matter of time until something like this happens. It's only a matter of time until, I don't want to say FAFO exactly, but people get fed up. You can annoy a wild animal and it will snap at you. And humans are no different. Like, all of this stuff you see, the stuff you'll see on Reddit, Twitter, whatever, humans, they never really grow up past a certain point. Well, sorry, some do, but most, I would say, they never really grow up past like middle school, maybe high school levels of social interaction. It's just a lack of introspection and a lack of care and a lack of like healthy mentality. Like, you go on social media and this is what you interact with, and then, well, this is what you become. Whether it's high school or whether it's the federal government and police and whatever, it's all going to end up being the same. Like, you annoyed them, you harassed them, you maybe even impeded them, or maybe that's what you were going there to do. Presumably there's proof. I mean, she said she was streaming all of it, so presumably there's some proof of something, but proof of the police calls or something. There's got to be, right? She's presenting everything in such a one-sided way without giving any proof at all to Reddit. And I know that she's not trying to talk to Reddit, but Reddit is posting this, and the Redditors don't care for any proof. That's what I ultimately want to say. So I'm going to assume that there's some legitimacy to what she's saying regarding how ICE acted and how the police acted. And yeah, that's to be expected. It's to be expected that when you constantly annoy a group of people and you constantly accuse them and defame them and treat them like trash, that they might lash out at you. They basically acted as obnoxious to her as she acted towards them, and I understand why she was scared, and I understand that the police, they couldn't do anything, but that just leads us on to the second part of this, which is the police.
nearly a month ago that the best thing we can do when we see ICE activity is to call police. They told us police would respond.
They shouldn't have. None of these police, Mamdani, AOC, all these politicians, doesn't matter who they are, they should not be telling people that fight ICE, go out and stop ICE. When ICE shows up, you do this, you call the police, and you call me. No, they shouldn't be doing. These are federal agents. Like, they're basically putting the spark of insurrection in people's minds when they tell you to do that. The police telling you, oh yeah, just call up the police, which work for the government, and they're gonna stop the government agents, the federal agents, from detaining you and possibly deporting you. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. AOC walking around warning people about ice in the neighborhood. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, that makes sense. It's like Looney Tunes. Why would you ever believe the police saying this to you? Why would you? Which is funny because I'm normally in favor of defending the police, but this is stupid. It's stupid to say that they're going to fight against ICE. They're not. The ICE federal agents, they're not going to fight against them. And anyone who believes the police or AOC or Mamdani or whatever regarding this is equally stupid. There's no way that you can trust them to stop ICE or any federal agency. If they told you, well, if the FBI shows up, you call me and I'll deal with it. Well, that's insane. You would immediately think, what the fuck are you talking about? What? Why would you think any differently for ICE? Because people constantly accuse them of things, right? They constantly defame them about things. They say they're thugs and chuds and Nazis and whatever. The ICE has like no credibility of being scary, and yet at the same time people are constantly talking about how they're the secret police, the Gestapo disappearing people. So then which one is it? Pick a lane. If they're that scary, why would you ever think the police are going to save you? Why would you think AOC is going to save you, or Mamdani, or whoever else? It's just insane. Like, the police shouldn't say that. Neither should the politicians, and you shouldn't believe them.
39 minutes later, in the wrong parking lot, with a report full of lies is not an acceptable response. I have a question for the police.
This is like the main reason I wanted to make this video, because I legitimately wonder what the hell they're even asking here. Like, I want someone to tell me, because you hear this so often when it's regarding like ICE or whatever, right? Where it's like, you come to my doorstep, I'll show you what for. I got my gun loaded and all that kind of crap. But this doesn't even make sense to me. If you refuse to do your job, are you prepared for us to do it for you? What is the police's job responding to ICE? Like, what they like? What are you saying? What does that mean?
If you refuse to do your job, are you prepared for us to do it for you?
Is she saying that groups of anti-ICE civilians are going to start attacking ICE because the police won't do it? Is she inspiring a civil war right here? No one's interrupting her from saying this, by the way. No one's saying like, whoa, what did you just say? What did you mean by that?
My question for city government.
Oh, right, she gets an applaud for threatening ICE and sort of threatening the police as well in a way, and kind of threatening the government of the United States of America in a way.
What sort of accountability are you prepared to take for posting a statement packed with lies? It's still up, by the way. Over 500,000 people have watched that live stream. Over 800 people have commented on those online reports that you made. We demand a public retraction of your statement and an audit of Officer Lamb's incident report.
Right. So I don't disagree that the police shouldn't say, and politicians as well, shouldn't say a bunch of BS about how they're going to protect you from ICE or whatever when they don't have any capacity to do that. I do think that there is a significant conflict of interest behind the police saying that they're going to stop ICE, because the police are there to stop crime, and being an illegal immigrant is crime. And they don't know what ICE is doing due to the nature of ICE. Is it like, unless there is like rules on the books regarding how these agencies deal with each other, it's not like when there's some sort of thing that happens, like a hostage scenario, and then the FBI comes in and they say, okay, we're taking over. I just don't understand how people can be so simple regarding it. They're literally acting like they're like school hall monitors or something. Not ICE. I mean, the people, the Redditors are acting like school hall monitors. They legitimately, they act, and I've been saying this for a while, they act like middle-aged women talking to their cats fighting each other. Like, no, stop it.
You two be nice. Max, be nice. Nellie, be nice.
Stop it. No. Hey, look at me. No. Bad. Don't do that. So anyway, this person linked the YouTube for it, and I watched about 15 minutes of it, and as I keep saying, there's no real proof of anything. Like, I mean, the YouTube, it's just people, like, all of this here is just people saying, like, they were in shackles, they were the best of us. They were a community. Blah 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 blah. None of these people are saying anything meaningful, as far as I can tell. They're listing a name of someone who was kidnapped by ICE, and then they're talking about how great the person was and how oppressed they are, and that's all you need, apparently. That's the way it always seems, anyway.
I've had federal agents yelling at me that I'm impeding an investigation simply by filming them as they sit in a parked car on a public road in a neighborhood. I've seen people load
Simply by sitting in a parked car in a public neighborhood. Well, they might have been running license plates or something. Did you think of that? No, that's impossible. Unless they're actively arresting someone, they're not doing anything, right? They're just lazy, right? You ever heard of like a stakeout? No? That's all a mystery to you, is it?
into vans in shackles.
Oh my god. People loaded into vans in shackles. You mean people being arrested? And that's what you meant to say. People being arrested or detained.
I've seen cars abandoned on the side of the road with their windows shattered.
And every single time you see someone arrested by the police or ICE recently for any kind of hyper left-wingism, they immediately resist arrest whilst screaming at the agents or officers. Oh my god, the window was shattered. Abandoned cars with windows shattered. He just said abandoned cars, didn't he? He didn't say he saw what happened. He just said it was an abandoned car. Does he even know who did that or why? Does he even know that ICE was involved?
We've seen so many hundreds of our neighbors taken.
Neighbors. Mind you, that if they're an illegal immigrant, calling them a neighbor's not really a good look, but you're doing it anyway because there's no such thing as illegal immigrants in the minds of Democrats.
From us. So when
I do give him some credit for saying taken from us, though, instead of kidnapped or disappeared or anything.
So many hundreds of our neighbors taken from us. So when the city of Beaverton put out a statement full of lies this week, it felt like gaslighting, because it was. You don't get to tell us what we see with our own eyes.
Well, what do you think all of these people see with their own eyes?
Look with your special eyes.
My brand. I'm such a fool.
Why is this some sort of like, oh my god, America's just been turned on its head? This is like basically nothing, and there's not really any kind of exactness to any of the words being said. There's no proof of anything that's being said. It's just sort of up in the air, and people still eat it up. 1,000 times yes. 1,000 times yes. I assume they mean yes as in, if you refuse to do your job, are you prepared for us to do it for you? Which again, I ask you, anyone who might be listening, is that an incentivization for civil war, for insurrection, for treason? I can't see it any other way. And I hear it over and over again on Reddit, but Reddit could be bots. She's saying it. She's not a bot. That's an American citizen saying it. Maybe brainwashed by bots, but as far as I can tell, as far as I'm aware, that's an American citizen in the United States of America who is basically saying to go out and do the police's job for them. And of course, the police's job to challenge ICE, who are federal agents. What was more likely the case? That a woman who was streaming with a PA system attached to her car followed around ICE agents and was trying to impede them? Or that there was some sort of grievous fascist, you can't even say white supremacist in this case, I suppose, but some sort of corruption of power here. I mean, I don't know. And no one listening knows, unless you were at the council meeting maybe, or unless you know her personally, or you're a member of ICE or something, because this isn't information. This isn't information, and that's exactly why it's on Reddit, because that's the response. Just hating on cops, hating on, well, everyone, really. There's a post here that says, Beaverton police need to stop cowering to fascists. So they're saying ICE are fascists there. Now, the response by someone says, cowering is an interesting word choice. Do you genuinely believe that the cops are failing to act because they're afraid of the fascists? It's been almost 20 years since the FBI warned us that white nationalist groups were explicitly encouraging their members to join law enforcement in order to interrupt blah, 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 blah. So now they're saying that white supremacists and cops are the same thing, which means that the cops aren't afraid of ICE. They're colluding with them. But hang on a minute. I've also seen loads of people saying that the FBI are in on it. and the NHS and the Secret Service and the Parks Police and the military, every branch of the military, everyone's in on it. Isn't it weird? Everyone is in on it. Everyone is a white supremacist and a Nazi and a fascist, etc., etc., except for Redditors and I guess Blue Sky users and some fringe people on other places. And they're sitting here like, I'm so proud of her. All the cops are evil. She's a queen. Actually, just writing the word queen there. Good lord. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and what irritates me it's not really that it happened. It's that people are just swallowing it hook, line, and sinker. Like, I don't know exactly what happened because I wasn't told. I was told a bunch of half truths, if even that much, and that's kind of what this video is about. It's just people saying things without really proving it, and other people saying, that proves that everyone I dislike is a predator and a misogynist and an incel and a fascist and a white supremacist and a cultist. It doesn't prove anything. Well, besides the fact that you're an idiot. God, I'm tired of it. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.